So in this series of yoga exercises for meditation, this series is designed to help people who meditate to develop a better respiration and circulation, so that it will help aid the practice of meditation, especially mindfulness and body-based mindfulness and vipassana meditation to help get more easily in touch with the body sensations. So the first aspect of yoga I want you to go over is called three-part breathing, or developing deep, slow breathing. This means breathing into the three parts of the lungs: the lower part of the lungs, the middle part, and even the upper part of the lungs. The lung has these three different sections in it that you can breathe into separately. But most people only breathe a little bit into the lower part, or maybe a little bit in the upper part, and usually never in the upper part of their lungs. So complete yogic breathing is learning how to breathe in all three sections of the lungs to have a more complete and harmonious blood circulation, as well as the stronger circulation of the life force, called the prana life force, which is also brought into the body through deep breathing. So we want to go over each of those three sections of the lungs, just to give you the experience that these three areas are there, and that you can breathe into them separately. And then we'll put them together into what is called the complete three-part breathing. So just standing straight, we'll focus on the lower part of the lungs first. So place the hands on the lower part of the rib cage. And we want to focus on just breathing in the abdominal area. What we want to do is to get control of the diaphragmic movement. The diaphragm is a thick muscle that stretches across the bottom of the rib cage. When you breathe in, the diaphragm moves downwards. And on the out breath, the diaphragm moves upwards, expelling the air. So we want to get that controlled movement of the diaphragm, which is the main organ used in breathing. So placing the hands across the lower abdomen, just focus behind the hands. Breathe in slowly. In the beginning, exaggerate the movement by gently pushing the stomach out and downwards as you breathe in. And hold the air in for 1 second if you can. And on the out breath, gently pull or suck the stomach in and up to form the hollow cavity under your rib cage. And just repeat that a couple of times until you get that movement. In breath, gently pushing the stomach out and downwards. Out breath, gently pulling, sucking the stomach in and upwards. Now, if you think you have that control, place the hands down at the sides and continue to do the lower lobe breathing just with your mind control. Stay focused in the abdomen area. Breathe in, gently push the stomach up, out and downwards. Hold it a little bit longer if you can. And the out breath, pulling the stomach in and out. And now relax. It shouldn't have been too difficult, because most people do breathe in their lower lobes. But now we want to forget about the lower lobes temporarily and focus on the middle lobes. So for the middle lobe breathing, raise the hands up so it's just on top of the the breast area. Not down here, it's on top of the breast area. And here you want to feel the outward and upward expansion of the lungs as you breathe in and out, like an accordion. Pulling an accordion open, breath is coming in, on the out breath, like pushing an accordion together to get all the air out. So keeping the hands there, just you can close the eyes, focus there, and try to take at least 2 or 3 seconds just to breathe in fully. Try to expand your lungs to the max. Hold the air in for 1 or 2 seconds. And the out breath, let out the breath. Out breath. In breath. Now on the out breath, lower the hands back to the sides and do it again just using your mind control. Just focus in the middle part of the lungs. Breathe in, feel that middle chest expanding. Try to hold the breath in a little bit longer each time before letting it out. Now relax. Anytime while doing these standing exercises you feel a little faint or giddy or dizzy, then squat down to the ground until that passes off. If you have poor circulation in your legs and standing a long time, doing deep breathing could cause that. So breathing in the middle lobes also is not that difficult, because we do that. But now we want to focus on the upper lobe breathing, sometimes called clavicular breathing. And for this you have to move the hands all the way up to the collarbone. And try to place the flat part of the fingers along the collarbone so that the long fingers sort of touch. And the rest of the hand is out, stretched across the collarbone area. Keep the elbows lifted up. It's just a short distance from the nose to the upper lobes. So you can gently close the eyes, concentrate behind the hands, and take a deep, slow breath. See if you can't feel a movement up in that high lobe area. Some air may still go in the middle part, that's okay, but at least try to notice a distinctly different lifting in the higher part. To hold the air in for 1 or 2 seconds. In the out breath. When you let out the breath, try to give a little extra contraction or squeeze to get all the air out of the lungs also. Especially with upper lobe breathing, you might feel some strange sensations up in the brain or head, because upper lobe breathing sends the blood up into the brain and the head. If you think you have control over that upper lobe breathing, and lower the hands down to the sides, and continue it a couple more times. Just focus at the top of your lungs. Just imagine that you are breathing straight through your throat. You are breathing the air straight in through your throat, going into the upper lobes. Keep the chin lifted up so that the windpipe remains open. Let the chin go downwards and impedes the full flow of air. At the end of the out breath, just relax. Just feel the whole body and mind. Just keep the eyes closed. Just feel the effects of that breathing. The body and mind might feel some increased warmth or tingling sensations in the body. Other vibrations. Hopefully your mind will calm down. Keep standing straight, the chin up level with the ground. Keep the shoulders back and relax. So if you weren't able to feel the breathing very easily in the upper lobes, don't worry about it right now. It takes a while to learn to exercise the muscles that govern the expansion of the upper lungs. Because we don't use them, they remain inactive and atrophy. They get weak just like any other muscles. If you don't use them, they get weak. So by consciously exercising them, you're able to strengthen them. Okay, now we want to put that all together. Normally you don't breathe in the lung areas separately like that. But I just went over it to give you that experience of that it's possible to actually breathe in those different areas separately. Now we want to put that together in what is called the complete yogic breath, or the complete pranayama, the three-part breath. So in one breath, we want to get air into all three of those areas, starting with the lower lobes. So the in-breath starts in the lower lobes and is gradually pulled up through the middle to the top. And the out-breath also starts from the lower lobes. The air is let out first from the lower lobes, then the middle lobes, and then the upper lobes. Now I know there's some other yoga systems that teach the opposite. They teach you to let the air out of the upper lung first, but my yoga taught also let the air out from the lower lobes first, and there's a reason for that. If you breathe in the lower lobes first, and then you breathe out from the upper lobes, you're only holding the air in the upper lobes 1/3 of the time that you're holding it into the bottom, and half the time you're holding it into the middle. So it's not balanced. So we're trying to develop what is called an even and harmonious breath, where you get equal and even distribution of oxygenated blood and the prana life force throughout the whole body. So breathing in the lower lobes affects the circulation to the hips and the legs. Breathing in the middle lobes affects the circulation to all the major organs in the trunk of the body, including the heart muscle, the lungs, stomach, kidneys, intestines, liver, and so on. Breathing in the upper lobes affects the circulation to all the organs in the head and the brain, and also to the arms. So if you fail to breathe in those corresponding lung areas, then those body areas can be affected by, not optimal blood and life force distribution. That's the theory behind it. So to breathe into all three areas, you need to divide the breath into three parts, especially by the time duration. So the best way to learn this is to count to 3 slowly, or if you have a longer breath, you can count to 6. So you'd be counting like 1 into the lower lobes, 2 into the middle lobes, and 3 into the upper lobes. After breathing in, make a little swallowing action where you swallow and it closes off the top of the glottis at the top of the throat to prevent the air from escaping. That's how you're able to hold the air in longer when you're holding the breath in. And then you take your concentration down to the lower lobes, and then the out breath is also 1, 2, 3, as you're contracting them up. And to learn this, you can use the hands also. So placing the hands here, go ahead and try this. After counting 1, raise the hands up to the middle for the count of 2, then raising the hands up to the upper lobes for the count of 3. You make the little swallowing action, or hold the breath in for 1 or 2 seconds. Move the hand while you're holding the breath in, move the hands to the bottom lobes for the start of the out breath. And the out breath, 1, 2, 3. And hands to the lower lobes again for the next in breath. 1, 2, 3. With the swallowing action, holding the breath, lower the hands to the lower lobes for the out breath. The out breath, 1, 2, 3. Just continue that a couple more times, using your hands until you get the rhythm of it. Once you get the rhythm of it, you think you have control over that 3-part breathing, then place the hands at the sides and try doing it just with your mind control. At the end of the next out breath, relax. Just feel your feet pressing the floor. Just feel the body. Just be aware of standing. Just notice if your mind is relaxed somewhat. Being in the present moment, the body. Okay, now we're going to do a series of standing exercises which combine this type of deep, slow breathing with a series of exercises. It's a fairly simple series of standing exercises. And the breathing is coordinated with the movements. So while breathing in, you do a certain movement, and you hold that position with the breath in for a couple of seconds. And then you return to the starting point or the opposite direction on the out breath. Pausing for a moment, and then we repeat each exercise 3 times. So there's 3 rounds of each exercise. Now in some of the exercises you may not be able to breathe precisely in the low, mid, and high manner. So don't worry about that too much. But some of the exercises naturally draw the air in to the body in that way. Others may not so much. But the idea is to try to take at least 3 seconds or longer just to do the in-breath and the movement. Then holding the breath in with the movement for 2 seconds, perhaps a little longer, 2 or 3 seconds, and then returning to the starting point, taking 2 or 3 seconds to return to the starting point, pausing the movement, and then repeating it. And some of you, if you have a real shortness of breath, I'm kind of doing it, we'll be demonstrating it in the ideal kind of slow way, mindful way. But if your breath is very shallow or short, then you might have to take even 2 breaths to my 1. So don't be frustrated about that. So this first exercise, on an in-breath, raise the hands over the head, interlock the fingers, turn the palms up, and straighten the arms and stretch. On the out breath, turn the palms down and just lower, touch the top of your head, letting out the breath. And again, in breath, turn the palms up, straighten the arms, stretch. Out breath, palms down, touch the head. Once more, in breath, palms up, straighten the arms. Now, on the out breath, release the hands and lower the arms back to the sides slowly, mindfully, letting out all the breath. Just relax. Keep the eyes gently closed. Feel your feet pressing the ground. See if you feel some sensations in your hands, the arms, tingling sensation. One of the effects of doing the exercises like this is it generates, by combining the breathing with the movement, it generates a strong current of life force, oxygenated blood through the system that you can actually feel as sort of increased tingling sensation or increased body warmth, especially in those particular areas of the body being moved. So throughout this series of exercises, also it's used as a form of meditation, mindfulness. The body, keep your attention always focused in the body, letting go of your thoughts. For the next exercise, on an in-breath, you want to push up on the toes and raise the arms over the head, facing the palms together about 6 inches apart, and stretch. On the out-breath, come back down. Keep your eyes focused on the ground about 8 or 10 feet in front of you. Don't be looking around or you lose your balance. Again, in-breath up. Once more, in breath. Just relax. Just feel the body. Just let the breathing go any way it wants to. Pauses in between. You might feel the heartbeat speed up while doing the exercises. That's good. Like aerobics. Just feel it slowing back down and pausing. While standing, try to keep your feet parallel to each other, about 2 inches apart, rather than keeping the feet outward. Keep them parallel to each other, about 2 inches apart. Now the next exercise will be knee bending. On the in-breath, again push up on the toes and raise the arms up parallel to the floor. On the out-breath, bend the knees and squat down, balancing on your toes, coming down as far as you comfortably can. On the in-breath, push up all the way up on the toes. In out-breath, lowering down. Take a deep breath in the lower lobes to help push up. Again, out breath. On the out breath, lower the arms. Relax. Letting go of your thoughts, staying focused on the body, be aware of standing, just like meditation. This next exercise utilizes the three-part breath. Begins by touching the front of the legs, with the open palms, fingers straight. On an out breath, you turn the palms outward, breathing in the lower lobes. You bring the hands together at the chest, breathing in the middle lobes. You raise the hands over the head, it draws the air into the upper lobes. You stretch the head back at the same time and look up at the ceiling and stretch upwards all at the same time. And on the out breath, bring the hands back down, the head back down to the starting point. Repeat it, in breath, and the palms outward, to the chest, over the head, Also, as you stretch the head back, arch your lower back a little bit, but don't bend backwards. The out breath, hands back to the sides. One more time. In breath. Out. Just relax. Just feel the whole body. That exercise really helps to bring out a nice, mellow flow of sensation. Try to feel them. Some of these exercises are not very difficult, but because they're done with the coordinated deep breathing, they can be quite dramatic in the current and flow of energy through the body. You can do exercises without breathing, but you're just stretching muscles. Or you can do deep breathing but without exercise and get the benefit of that. But when you combine both, the deep breathing while you're doing the exercise, you get a double whammy effect, or double powerful effect. As the muscles are stretched, you're breathing in rich oxygenated blood at the same time. So you have that oxygenated blood penetrating the stretched muscles. They're able to penetrate to the cells of the muscle tissue, the joints. If you're just breathing without the stretching, then the blood can't penetrate the compacted, dense muscle tissue. So that's another theory or idea behind doing the exercises in this way. We're not holding the position for long periods of time, but the whole purpose is to generate a powerful current of circulation and life force. It helps to tranquilize and recharge the cells of the body. And now just standing straight, we'll do head turning. Again, try to keep the chin up level with the ground, and try to breathe mostly in your upper lobes for this exercise. So on the in-breath, turn your head to the right as far as you can. Until you'll be looking over your right shoulder, although you can keep the eyes closed. And on the out-breath, turn the head 180 degrees back to the left. Just concentrate in your neck vertebrae. You'll feel or imagine them loosening up. Try not to move your shoulders, just pivoting with the head. In-breath back to the right. Out breath to the left. Once again, in breath to the right. Out breath to the left. On the next in-breath, let the head stop in the center. Keep the eyes closed. Feel the body. Feel the feet pressing the floor. Feel the arms hanging from the shoulder socket. Just mentally note, be aware of standing, standing. letting go of the past, letting go of the future. Just relaxing in the present moment. Okay, next we'll do side bending. On in-breath, raise the arms up over the head, keeping the arms straight and the hands about 6 or 8 inches apart. Raise them all the way up over the head. And keep your forearms close to the sides of your head. On the out-breath, bend over your right side as far as you comfortably can. Don't let the arms come apart. Keep them parallel to each other. In-breath, straighten up. And out-breath to the left side. Just feel the muscles in the side being stretched. In-breath up. Again to the right, out-breath. In-breath. Out-breath, left. In-breath. Once more to each side, out-breath, to the right. Left. On the out-breath, lower both arms to the sides. Now, we'll spread the legs apart about 3 feet. The wider, the better. We're going to do lateral twisting of the spine, holding the arms out, keeping the arms level with the floor. Breathe in. And turn the head to look at your right hand, and on the out breath, twist around as far as you can. Keep the eyes focused on the hand. On the in breath, come back to the front. And turn the head to look at the left hand. The out breath, twist to the left. And let the feet turn a little bit as you're twisting. Help keep your balance. In breath in front. In to the right, out breath. In breath. In to the left, out breath. In breath. Once more to each side, out breath. In breath. In the out breath, lower the arms. Feel the sensations, especially the shoulders, adjust your feet a little bit. This next exercise, called the triangle pose. You turn your right foot to a right angle. You hold the hands out, parallel to the ground. You breathe in. And you shift the whole body to the right. Let the right hand come down to the leg. You continue to bend over that side, letting the hand come down as far as you can. The other hand keep straight up in the air and twist your head and look up at the hand and turn your arm and hand so you'll be able to look at the palm of the hand. In breath, come up. Again, out breath, the same side, move to the right, drop the hand down. See if you can come down a little bit further. Second time, we'll keep the, turn the head to look up at the hand. Keep both legs straight, feel the stretch muscle in the back of the legs. In breath. And the third time, try to hold that position a little longer if you can. Out breath. In breath. And lower the arms, relax. Ready. Do the same thing to the left side, from the left foot to 90-degree angle. Breathe in. Move the body to the left. Drop the hand down to the leg. Turn the head to look up. Hands straight over the head. And keep the fingers straight, don't have spaghetti fingers. Keep the fingers straight. In breath, up. And out breath. Small. Relax. Feel the whole body. Now, place the hands together at the chest. Do a different kind of squatting exercise. On the in-breath, raise the hands over the head. On the out-breath, lower the hands to the chest and bend the knees and squat down, keeping the feet flat on the floor. Try to keep the back upright. In-breath all the way up, hands over the head. Out-breath. In-breath. Out-breath. And the out breath, blow the nose back. In each set of exercises, you should be able to feel the body becoming more alive with vibration, sensation, pulsation. The increased kinetic energy of the cells, molecules. Just allow that feeling to relax the whole body and mind. Provide the basis for concentration in the body. Now next, we want to do forward and backward bending. You have to be careful with back bending. When you come up from a back bend, a rush of energy can move upwards, up the spine to the head and cause you to get a little dizzy or in extreme cases even black out. You want to avoid that by not overdoing it the first time. Just letting the hands hang loosely at the sides. Breathe in. On an out breath, bend forward and let the hands come down the first time to the knees, but keep the head up and try to flatten your back. The idea is to try to get the hump out of the spine, make the back like a tabletop. Keep both legs straight. In breath, raise up. Now move the hands underneath the buttocks for support. Let the head go back and breathe out and then backwards. Not too far. Keep the eyes open. In breath, come up. Again, out breath. Then forward. Second time, let the hands come down below the knees. Still keep the head up, legs straight, and flatten the spine. In breath. And out breath, back bend. In breath up. And the third time, let the hands come down as far as you can toward the feet, and still keep the head up. legs straight. Feel the stretched muscles in the back of the leg. In breath, come up. One more time, back bend. And the out breath, just relax. Feel the whole body. This is the backward bending exercises generates lots of energy in the body, with all the major nerves. The body are located along the spine, supply. Bring the legs back together. And just stand. Feel the whole body. Now we're going to do one last standing exercise. Everybody's favorite, the lion's roar face stretch. This exercise can be done from a sitting position, but also a standing position. In the standing position, I'm going to keep the feet about 6 inches apart. And bend the knees slightly and brace your hands above the knees. And then we're going to take a deep breath, make a little swallowing action, hold the breath in for a few moments, concentrate on what you're going to do. Then on the out breath, you want to open the mouth and jaws as wide as you can, stick out the tongue like you were going to the doctor's, and so you stick your tongue out further, and cross the eyes until you see double. And then kind of squinch the face muscles a little bit. The idea is to draw lots of oxygenated blood into the face and bathe the whole face and head with oxygenated blood. And while you're breathing out, you can make a sound in the throat. It simulates a lion roaring. You don't have to do it too loudly. So I'll demonstrate it one time, and then you try it. You breathe in. Relax. And as an added bonus to this exercise, when you open the mouth and stick out the tongue, you can suck the stomach up to form a hollow cavity under the rib cage and hold that while you're holding the face stretched. Gives an extra stimulation to the whole body. Don't be afraid to stick out the tongue in breath. When you're ready, once more. And straighten up. Just feel the whole body, especially the head. Just feel as though the whole head is just washed and bathed in warm, soapy suds. Warm life force vibration. Bathing, suffusing the whole head, face. Even the whole body. Start to feel the outline of the whole body. Just imagine that life force permeating, saturating, suffusing the whole body, healing life force. Okay, now to finish, we'll do a come down to the ground. Come in. Lay down. Just lay with the heels close together with the arms on the floor near your hips. Just make sure the body is straight. Stretch the back of your head out a little bit. The idea is to have the spinal column, the whole body straight. It's completely relaxed. And just feel the weight of the body pressing into the floor. Now just feel the weight of the back of the head, where the back of the head presses the ground. Feel that contact. And let the awareness slowly move down the body to feel the contact points of the shoulders, and the arms, the hands, the hips. The legs and the heels. See if you can keep that kind of outline or silhouette of the leg posture in the mind's eye. Just holding that gently. Try to tune back into the subtle pulsations, vibrations of life force. Different parts of the body. Just letting go of your thoughts. Stay focused in the body. Just be aware of laying. Just allow an organic aliveness of the whole body to emerge in the awareness. Just imagine the sensation saturating, suffusing, permeating the whole body and mind. That healing energy. Just letting go of your thoughts. Letting sounds come and go in the background. Just try to feel subtler, finer sensations deep into the body. Just try to hold that meditative relaxation awareness as long as you can. Keep the body perfectly still, not move. Try to reach above everything. undermine any irritating sensation. Deep awareness. Where you might be. And take a slow, deep, slow breath also. Try to take a 3-part breath. Breathing into the 3 parts of the lungs, holding it for a few moments to feel that subtle surge of oxygen you feel. Slowly breathe out and relax. Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.